We got an old brick here. I'm gonna try the hammer pole, kind of see what it can do. Another thing I'm going to do with the Helm Forge Woodsman Hawk, I got my thick hunk of deer spine. Just going to chop into it and see what I can do. Hello my friends, it's Gabriel with The Last Huntsman Outdoors here. Here today I have the Helm Forge Woodsman Hawk. This is the first full tang tomahawk I've reviewed in a while. I think the last one I did was the Blackjack. This one I'm very excited about. Helm Forge puts out some really awesome stuff. Let's check out Helm Forge Woodsman Hawk. Alright, so here's the Helm Forge Woodsman Hawk. It's 80 CRV2 steel. Now he has two different versions of this. He has a 12-inch version and a 15-inch version. I got the 15-inch version. They also come with a pretty nice Kydex sheath, and they also can come with a bandolier strap as well. I opted not to get the bandolier strap because personally for a tomahawk I usually just keep it in my pack. Down this small tree, just know any tree that I cut down, it does get used out here. I live out on a farm and everything, so it will be firewood, it will be stuff used for a channel. So it's not like I'm just wasting trees out here. Try to split this log here. I usually prefer to baton, but if you got a tomahawk, that's one way to do it too. All right, now I'm just going to do some delimbing here. Does pretty good. Tomahawk, I'm going to use it to make a steak. This is actually the way I usually make steaks for campsite is just use either a hatchet, tomahawk, or a large knife. And I never really make them perfectly sharp because they're just going right into the ground. Guess we can try out that hammer pole. See if we can. Another task I'm going to try is I'm just going to try choking up on it. This ain't ever going to be really a fine slicer, this thing. You know, it's a tomahawk, so I don't expect it to have like some super thin edge on it. However, you can choke up on it if need be. I do wish that these handle scales came all the way up to the head. I feel like it would be a little nicer to choke up on if it had that instead of the handle scales coming up about 3 or 4 inches too short. But you can always leather wrap that and or paracord wrap it or something. All right, and I also figured while I'm out here, I'll show you. This is the Hardcore Hammers Supernaturalist hatchet, kind of right next to it, so you kind of get a size comparison here. And he also has a few different variants of this. He even has one with a spike. However, I opted for a hammer. All right, so something else to kind of discuss with the Helm Forge Woodsman Hawk here is the Kydex sheath. Thus far, I'm pretty impressed with the Kydex sheath. It is a little on the tight side. However, I think I'd always rather a sheath be on the tight side than on the loose side. And as you use it a lot, it will probably loosen up some. It has really good retention. And of course, it even has this snap clip here. However, honestly, I don't even think it needs it because even without it, it's not even coming off. I could shake the hawk and it's not coming off. It needs some. I'm going to just do some light chopping here with this as well. I'm fighting with a tree with a lot of miscellaneous branches on it here. So I'm going to be wrapping up the review of the Helm Forge Woodsman Hawk. So right off the bat, do I suggest it? Yes, I highly suggest this hawk. I've been very excited to get it out here and use it since I got it. The fit and finish on this is pretty good. There's a few things that I would change on it. I wouldn't mind to see these scales actually come up just a little higher. And the only other thing that I would probably change on it is, as you can see, the grind is only about 3/4 of an inch up. I would like to have seen the grind come up just a little bit higher on this, just kind of give it a little bit better edge geometry. However, as is, it's very tough, it's very stout. You're never gonna have any issues with this. I will say, you know, your typical hatchet, wood-handled hatchet and wood-handled tomahawk is gonna perform differently than this. However, this is one slab of 80 CRV2 steel. My great grandkids surviving tribulations is probably still going to be able to use this thing. So there's a lot of security with that. And also, you know, if you're going to be using it more potentially as a breaching type of tool, or you're in a more of an urban scenario, I definitely would take a full tang tomahawk over a typical wood handled tomahawk. These are priced around $300 to $350 or so, from, if I remember right. But for an American made full tang tomahawk, that's actually not a bad price, really, honestly. Especially, you know, when you start thinking about it, you have a slab of 80 CRV2, you're losing a lot of excess material just cutting out a tomahawk. So I could kind of see why a tomahawk cost a decent amount for, you know, an American made one in decent materials. But with all that being said, be prepared both physically and spiritually. God bless, and carry on.